Hello folks, welcome back to Feldy, map for Farming Simulator 11 by Farmer Yip. Well, I did a bunch of work off cam, and as you can see here, I am just preparing to finish cultivating this field here. I ended up finishing harvest. Let's just get this fella going. I'm going to kill his course that he may have had in there previously. We'll get him hired. So, okay, that shows a good, decent top-down view. I have cultivated the field over here. I've cultivated all the fields up ahead, as you can see. Everything behind it, I think, is pretty much ready to go for planting. I have also finished harvesting. I think it was field number 27 that had corn in it. And you may recall from the last episode, there was bales everywhere. Of course, I picked all those up, took them down, and sold them. Actually, we can take a look and see what our loan is at the moment. We're down to 20,000. Not bad for finishing the harvest, and I'm actually hoping to put a dent in that when I sell a little bit of wool, which we'll do in a moment. So really what I have left is to cultivate this field, and it looks like it's field number 25 and also field number 27, and at that point I believe the map is a clean slate. Oh yeah, you can see over here this was our pea field, and that has also been reduced to dirt. So I'll be all set and ready to have a season of planting, if you will. Trying to have some semblance of seasons in here, if you will. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and I think in a previous episode I explained kind of what my plans were for recropping the map. It's going to be a fair bit of work to plant everything, because this time there is everything to plant. And you know, when we started the map, there was fields like field number 19 and field number, what is that? Let me just zoom in. Is that 18? Interesting numbering scheme Farmer Yip had. But anyway, the point is those were blank fields, including field number 26 down here, and maybe that's 28. So everything is going to get planted, and that's going to be a fair piece of work. You know, you may recall in the last episode it was getting a little bit dark. I opted to move the time forward so we could get to a bright new day and get ready to do a piece of work in here. Why don't I tab over to other equipment? Okay, this is going to sit here. Our forage harvester, as you can see, we're already regrowing out here. Not quite enough. We need our red clover to flower before we tackle it again, but it's getting there. Here are the hogs. Animals is something we have yet to explore on this map, so let me continue tabbing to that's gonna sit there. We don't need it, but I am pleased to see, oh, actually look at that. You know what, I almost think our pasture over here has completely regrown. Let's just go take a look at that here real quick. I don't know if it'll let me get through. Oh, it didn't let me go right through. Well, folks, it looks like at any time we wished, we could turn that back into hay. So there is a thought. You know, as I mentioned at kind of the get-go, we still have some debt on our line of credit, so maybe we can make a little bit more hay to try to clear that off. I'll give that some thought. You know, I'm gonna take this tank. I'm gonna just take him up to the field because I don't know if you noticed, my cultivator guy was running short of fuel. So, oops, see if I can get out of the hedge. Maybe I should have purchased a hedge trimmer sooner. I don't know. It is just growing some serious bush on this map. But I'm going to take this up to the field because he's cultivating. I think he was down to 40 gallons. And I know in a previous episode we talked at length about the usage of fuel and how we have, I think it's 3 mods in here, maybe even 4, that dictate how fuel is used. And I know one of them is when you are pulling a cultivator with a tractor, it bumps up how much fuel is used. So he's probably gonna, in other words, we're gonna need to refuel him before he's done. Oh! Now I'd like to say this isn't just my terrible driving. I do everything with a keyboard, and some of y'all maybe have controllers, and maybe that does a little better job. But sometimes it just doesn't respond as well as others. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Also off cam, I've made some adjustments to the map, kind of a few tweaks here and there. I know I've mentioned a time or two that there's areas, you know, where it's just less than optimum for the equipment to go over it. Creases in the ground, so I've tried to smooth some of those off. And I think we'll leave that here for the moment. Aha. And I've also done some other modding, and one maybe I could even show right here. This is back up our sheep, and you may notice I have a juke box. I really don't know what that term means. I'm pretty sure that's what this is called. I know I needed it in order to juke box. Yeah, maybe someone from Europe or Scotland would know what juke means. All I know is it will haul fleece, which we have, and eggs. Oh yes, we have chickens on this map. Anyway, I'm going to haul some fleece up here. I don't know how much it holds. We'll find that out shortly. But another bit of modding that I did involved this tractor. And you'll notice as I shine it into the shadows here, there's a lot more light, or what appears to be a lot more light. And what I wanted to share kind of in this session is what I did to do that. So let me hop out of here. Okay, so here's our Raba tractor, and here is the front light. I get my cursor here. So over here, whenever you create a light in a mod, it's going to have some settings over here, and I'm pretty sure we went through some of these previously. So one of the things I did is I bumped up the range for how far it could shine to 100 meters. Is that realistic? I don't know. All I know is that when I'm operating at night, I want to have a little bit more visibility so I can see what I'm doing. The other thing I changed was the cone angle. I think previously it was either 30 or 60. And what this is going to do is it will dictate how wide the angle of the light is. So you'll see I just did it 180. And everybody knows a full circle is 360 degrees. So 180 would be half. So it's going to shine light straight out on either side of the tractor. And you know, I considered shining at 360, but it was doing weird things in game, so I just kind of trimmed it back. You know, in these earlier versions of Farming Sim, the lights, they just didn't work as well as they did in later versions, shall we say. So I just made those couple changes in here. I unzipped it off to zip the tractor back up. At some point, I know there are some scripts where you could add additional lights, and so that's something I may try to figure out at some point. Some mods, or even some of the equipment that came in game, will have light shining out the rear. I know this one is set up for it, but when I try to activate it, again, it does really weird things in game. And I almost think it took my frame rate and threw it into the basement. Suffice it to say, I'm generally pleased at the result. You know, this is way better than what I had before, which would only shine slightly ahead a little bit. So this is way more than what I previously had. Anyway, let me get this chook box over here, and I think it's right inside the door. Huh. You know, that almost looks like... Huh. Look at that. You know what? I have never been up here before. It apparently has a haymow. Look at that. That is very cool. I know you probably can't see this very well. I have a flashlight on, and it's, well, I guess it's brighter looking this way. I don't know why it wouldn't show the wall over here. Maybe there's, well, I don't know. Anyway, well, that was interesting. I've never been up there to the second floor of that building. Doesn't look like there's anything for us to do. So I'll quit messing around here and try to get set up to take some fleece. And how much fleece do we have? Let's just take a look here at, oh, it's probably in our inventory. Fleece. 49,500. Wow, that's a lot of fleece. So, well, if that's the case, and I have high hopes we can get this debt paid off. We'll see, somewhere in here, if I back it up, I think it's supposed to fill. There we go. Oh, look at that. It says 2,000. Oh my word. Folks, I am going to be hauling fleece. 47,000. At 2,000. Oh my goodness. I am going to have a fair bit of loads, and I'm going to probably need to do a lot of that off cam. So I think I need to have 5,000 units of wool in order for the kelp fertilizer gate to remain open. So maybe what I should do, well, let me see here. I believe, let me just hop out of game again real quick, and I'm gonna just hop, we'll go look at our manual. Okay, the warehouse down here is where I believe you take the fleece. So we got to go from here, Sheep Hill, all the way to the warehouse. And I'm not sure the quickest way to do it. That's a wonderful meandering path. Maybe if I go over here by, down here by the shop, kind of come through here. That's maybe what I'll do. Just trying to figure it out. I'm gonna set up a course play, and oh, hopefully that isn't too close. Yeah, I know the first couple points in the course play are kind of ticklish. I'll have to be really careful on this first one. And you know, I haven't tested it yet. Oh, you can see at the right, I've already cultivated it. Boy, it's really interesting how the light works in here. When we were at the top of the hill looking down, it appeared light. But then when we get down here, you know, it's in the morning, so I guess on all the west side of the hills, I suppose they'd be in the shadows, dark. Doesn't seem like it'd be that dark though. Alright, then we're going to cut across here, set up our course. I'll be really curious. I know I've set up another couple course plays just to see how well it actually functions. This one here is going to go by our store. So note to self, don't ever park anything in the main drag of the road. Gonna go and buy our bale accumulator. Head on down the road. Try not to scrape it up too much against all these hedges. I wonder if there's a way to figure how much we're going to get off of this. I mean, I don't know if this is some major magnet for cash. Fleece. Okay, I probably need to do another. Whoa. Okay, so $31.90. Well, that's much higher than any of the commodities we're taking down there. You know, wheat or barley and so forth, even the corn. So I suppose that means we're going to make some dough. The trouble is, it's only going to be 2,000 liters, so it'll take a little while to accumulate. But shoot, I don't know. Maybe it'll be enough to get all of our debts paid. Now down the long hill. And I suppose I'm going to need to make a course coming back, too. Be one to and one from, and I think the mod is kind enough to tell you when it's reached the destination, which is pretty handy. I haven't done an episode in here for probably about a week, and this past week our family was on vacation, so what I opted to do instead was look up some Feldy videos made by Farmer Yip, and how's this where I need to turn in? Dr. Feldy? It is. Alright. Table at thought for the moment as we head in here to sell this. I don't know where the trigger is. Alright, we got him to turn around. Let's stop. And we'll call this sheep to warehouse. And we'll reset it because we're going to... Now, let me see. Aha, you got to dump it. Nice. Oh yeah, that's giving us some nice money. Look at that. Going from negative, we got enough to repay a little on our loan. Very cool. Anyway, let me get this set at the right angle, and we are going to create a course back to the sheep. And we'll pretty much go the way that we came. Well, I'm real pleased. So that means, I mean, I have a number of loads I can do, and that is going to definitely clear out my loan. So I obviously have some work I can do off cam. So I don't force you all to watch me do all those loads. I am definitely pleased. But anyway, we were on vacation, and so I was looking at some videos on Feldy by Farmer Yip. And I know I've linked his channel. to these videos, so you can go look at those videos yourself. They're fairly clearly marked, and some are when he was in the process of building it. And what you'll notice that was intriguing to me is he's using some different equipment in farming Feldy and what ultimately was available, specifically in the area of sugar beets. He had some other stuff, and it's kind of funny, he keeps calling it turnips, and maybe that's ultimately what he intended, and sugar beet just happens to be the crop and the textures that he used. But he had some other attachments for, I don't know what it was, maybe for a tractor even, where you could top the beets, cut the tops off, and then there was an attachment you could put on the forage harvester that would pick up or dig them out, and then yet another attachment that would pick up the windrows of beets. And I've looked at the map file, and I know the capability is in it to do that. And one of the ways I figured that out was I set it up to be that way also for potatoes, with some other equipment that I'm considering trying at some point. So, but it was really interesting that it didn't make the final cut. And that's pretty typical. Anytime you have something that you're working on, the work in progress may or may not resemble the final product. And I think we all know that. But especially for Farmer Yip, he had some really talented help. He's very talented in his own right, obviously. But Dr. Hilty was helping him with some mods for it. And for whatever reason, maybe it was just to keep the package smaller, less overhead for download, who knows. For whatever reason, they didn't include some of this other sugar beet equipment in the final pack. Or if they did, it wasn't in the version that I downloaded, and I got my version from FSUK several years ago. And I think I've explained all that in here, how really that was the only place that you could download Feldy on the internet, and then once FSUK closed, it was no longer available, which was sad. After all the effort put in here, so that has been remedied. It's now at ModHoster, who are graciously hosting it there. All right, so now we have our second course. Let's name it real quick. This will be warehouse to sheep, and I'm going to reset that. And now I should be able to select, let me see if I can find it. Oh, yes, and it's got all these extraneous things in here. Sheep to warehouse. There we go. I'm going to get back in here, get another load ready to go. And then it's probably time to go check on our cultivator. And this time, alright, I'm going to hit save because I don't know that I trust this work. Here we go. Drive now, stop at last. Yeah, there he goes. Man, he's doing it as fast as he can go. I hope this is set up good. Fingers crossed that he doesn't get tangled on anything. You always wonder with course play. Okay, something happened here with our tractor that he ended up down in the brush. He has a mere 17 gallons of fuel, so maybe it's just enough to... Oh, and this keeps... Boy, I gotta watch that like a hawk. Make sure field detection is on when it's supposed to be. We'll just take care of the last little bits. And I want to see, yep, it is tracking it on there. So we can see just slightly that yellow dot up there where our hero is hauling a load of wool to market. Alright, Alright, looks like it took care of these bits. I'm going to head up here to grab these, and then hopefully it's enough to get us to the other end, and we can refill with fuel. And if not, fortunately we're close by. Alright, our wool guy is making progress. Yeah, see, this is the power of course play, where you leverage yourself when you're on single player like I am to help yourself out. Alright, let's get that up. And cool, we made it to the end. And folks, once we fill with fuel here, we have one more field to cultivate, and we are ready to plant. We'll have to, because there's nothing left to harvest other than other than grass if we made more bales. And I was thinking maybe I can make some to help pay the debt off. I don't think I'm going to have to do a single bit, because we have our wool to sell, quite a lot of it in fact, and I think that'll take care of the debt and everything besides. I do need to purchase and this is one of the things I was hoping I could get for next planting, was to purchase a fertilizer spreader for the kelp fertilizer that we have. So I'm pleased I'll be able to do that. And there's some other equipment too I may get. I don't know that hedge trimmer will fit in there, but we'll see what we can do. Alright, where did our guy go? Okay, I don't trust him one bit. Let's hang on just a second here. Oh, well, I guess he doesn't show up on there. Huh. Now he shows on there. I wonder if I'm simply... There he is. I wonder if maybe there's a range or something. Who knows? I should have just stayed on him. He's obviously there. I'm going to just go down there. We're going to... Tip trigger. Oh, I see. I see. He came to the tip trigger. Let's reset him. I think I need to go this way. Warehouse to sheep. Got it. Now it detected a tip trigger out there. Okay, so if I drove close enough. Alright. Boom. Money, money, money. Here we come. Nice. Another $5,000. Repay. Oh, I'm so pleased. Drive. Drive now. Stop. Drive course. Stop and last trigger. Alright, when he's on his way back, we'll see if he makes it all the way. And I'm going to open up this field. Actually, you know what? I probably should leave this on so I can keep an eye on him. At least when he gets within range. You know, one of the things I've noticed with this here cultivator is it takes things out around the edge. You know, it probably can't be helped, but all the grass that's there, and I guess it would do this in real life. Yeah, see, you can see it's killing some of that. So I'm trying to stay well inside the lines, but it's more challenging than you would think. But I've thought of maybe trying to write a script or something to make it so that it doesn't kill the grass when it runs over it on the edge. And there might be, it might be in there already. I have a feeling that it forces that effect, but there might be a way to change that. I just have to figure out how. Because I'm pretty sure that unlike the mower, you know, if you mow all this grass, it will disappear also, but it's going to regrow. But I'm pretty sure when you run over it with a cultivator, I don't think that it regrows. I'd kind of like it if it would. I don't know, just my own personal preference. Does anybody else have a preference on that? I know in real life it probably would take it out, but I don't know, I like having that grass next to the fields. Alright, I see that our wool guy is obeying orders and he's charging up the hill. Now he's going to go out of range. We can't even see him until I get our colty up there. And I'm going to end up taking out some grass. These are other potential courses I could put in. It all depends on how silly I get with it, I suppose. Where you could put in the outer round of a field, seeing how it's kind of how I'm doing it, is I do the outside edge and then I turn him loose on higher mode just for back and forth. But I don't know. You know, at a certain level, I know my kids have asked me this before, it's like, well, why are you even playing the game if you just have somebody else do all the work all the time? And I suppose they have a point. I am the boss, so I can do the opening round, right? That's something you wouldn't trust your hired help to do. Maybe. Now up here, yeah, this here I probably definitely need. Those are all, you know, when there's hard objects involved, you can't always just turn it on to higher and be done with it. Well, so I am crossing my fingers that the wool jukebox is up at the sheep once more, and that all that is hunky-dory. And you know something? I don't know. Do I need to do anything else in here? That might be... We'll see if he's able to do back and forth. I'm going to turn him loose, and we will see. Actually, I'm trying to remember last time, did I do it lengthwise or... That might be what I did. Alright, that's what I'm going to do. Kill his course, and then I'm going to start it taking part of a path so that he takes more of it up there. Then I'm going to go check our jukebox, and if he's up in where he's supposed to be, we will call it an episode. Oop. I think I'm supposed to tap back the other way. Look at that. Nicely done. Alright, folks. Well, I think we're going to call the episode there. Thank you so much for coming along. I'm going to do a little bit of work off cam, and we're going to get all these fields leveled. I'm going to get the wool sold, and we're going to start planting. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.